Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. It's Niall here reacting to the huge news today of the Wembley Supercard. Most importantly, the main event. But yeah, the news announced today. It was a the worst kept secret, if you will. 21st of September, Wembley Stadium as part of Riyadh season, and Turkey Al Sheikh delivering again to put on one of the greatest cards the UK, to be honest, has ever seen. A real super card, and it's going to be headlined by a massive domestic heavyweight dust up between Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois. So before we get into reacting to that one, just the other fights on the card, you've got Hamza Shiraz, Chris Eubank Jr. in a cracker. You've got Joshua Buatsi versus Willie Hutchinson. You've got Liam Smith, I beg your pardon, versus Josh Kelly. And yeah, it's a real outstanding card. So yeah, headlined by the top of the bill, AJ versus Dubois. And this one, the only thing you can say here is it's a guaranteed KO. I think it's a really excellent fight. Joshua, the former two-time world heavyweight champion, against the man who wants to be the king and who's on the form of his life, Daniel Dubois. Two big punchers, and yeah, this one's going to be an epic while it lasts. To be honest, as I say, it's highly unlikely this one's going to the cards, but as I mentioned there, Daniel Dubois on the form of his life, and to be honest with you, what makes this fight so fascinating to me is these two could not be meeting at a more perfect time, in my opinion. Anthony Joshua is looking back to his old self, back to the pre-Ruiz fights before he got stopped by Ruiz, where he was vengeful, spiteful, but not reckless, calculated, cold, calculated killer, who believes in himself, believes in, his best attributes, and under the partnership of Ben Davison now has looked really good these last few fights. Of course, he's beaten Otto Wallen, and he looked excellent in that. As I say, he looked back to his old self, and of course, he absolutely started Francis Ngannou. Say what you want about Francis Ngannou's kind of credentials in the sport, but we seen what he's done to Tyson Fury. So, he's a big, tough, scary man, and AJ blasted through him in a couple of rounds. So, yeah, two really good performances under the tutelage of Ben Davison. A lot of people kind of raised eyebrows at that partnership. AJ looking for the perfect kind of coach, being with Derek James and so have you. But Ben Davison, he landed on Ben Davison, and he's looked as good as he has in over 5 years, to be honest with you. He lost himself really after the first Ruiz KO, as I mentioned. Even though he won the rematch, looked good. But he's found himself now after again he lost to Alexander Usyk twice, but he's really found a partnership that kind of he's settled on here. And Daniel Dubois, as I said at the start of the video, a completely changed man to the fighter that a lot of people use the word quit against Joe Joyce. He fought Alexander Usyk, gave a great account of himself. A lot of people thought he should have won with the low blow controversy, but it's great to see he's bounced back. He's defeated Jarrell Miller, big baby Jarrell Miller. He's answered a lot of questions there about himself, about his heart, about his engine to get that stoppage late. And of course, last time out to produce the display he did to defeat Filip Hrgović, decorated amateur, unbeaten pro, and a world title hopeful Filip Hrgović to stop him. Absolutely outstanding, outstanding as the underdog in that one. Not there weren't many people. I didn't expect him to be Hrgović, but he's riding this wave of confidence and momentum, and he got the stoppage there. So I think he's landed on an AJ fight now at the perfect time. He deserves it after the run he's been on, as I mentioned. And Anthony Joshua has that spark back under Ben Davison, which is great to see because a fired up, 100% focused Anthony Joshua, a spiteful Anthony Joshua is great for the heavyweight division. So these two are crossing paths at a really, really good time. I think before, to break the fight down, I think first of all, I think the pressure is on Anthony Joshua here to get a win. He's been beaten now what 3 times. He can ill afford another loss now at this stage of the game, at this stage of his career. If he wants to become a 3-time world heavyweight champion, he can't lose to Daniel Dubois. There'd be no shame in losing to Daniel Dubois, but AJ can't afford it as much as Dubois can. A loss for Dubois, of course, wouldn't be ideal at all, but he could realistically come again. That's been the theme of his career so far. Queensbury have full faith in him. They're putting him in with these big names, and even if he loses, he's gaining so much confidence from it. So yeah, I think pressure's on AJ, but I think he's been here before. He's been on this big stage before, Wembley Stadium headliner. Dubois hasn't, so that could play a part in terms of skill set. Of course, Anthony Joshua, safe to say, the better, more well-skilled boxer technically with the amateur background. He's more fundamentally solid than Dubois. Dubois, they both punch like mules. Yeah, they both punch huge hitters, so you can't split them there. Questions about AJ's engine, who knows? That's maybe that'll get found out here. Questions about Dubois' engine, questions about AJ's chin. How well can he really take a shot, and how does he hold up under big fire? So Dubois could test the chin if he lands. Absolutely. One thing for me that Dubois proved, as well as his heart last time out in the last couple of fights, is his chin against Philip Hergovich was absolutely ridiculous. He was getting pinged at will by Philip Hergovich, who himself is a huge puncher, and I wasn't really putting a dent in him. Between the durability and the confidence, but those were huge shots he was getting hit with, and he wasn't budging them. He kept steaming forward, and yeah, eventually broke Hergovich's chin and broke his spirit and got him out of there. So Dubois has a really outstanding chin, and that's something that shocked me as much as anything last time out against Philip Hergovich. Of course, he'll say how will I hold up under the fire of Anthony Joshua, who is a bigger puncher than Hergovich, but Hergovich can punch. He really can hit. Does Joshua have a better chin than Dubois? I don't think so, and I think this is what it's going to come down to. I think it's going to catch fire early. It's going to be a firefight. Joshua will try to be will be the more conservative of the two. I'm not saying he's going to go back to thinking he was this kind of majestic technical master, defensive master that he kind of got in his head after Ruiz, after the first Ruiz fight and then into the Usyk fights. I think he will have that kind of spite in him, but will the chin kind of hold up? If it goes late, which I don't think it will, there's questions about both men's gas tank. But I don't think, as I say, I don't think it's getting that far. In terms of my prediction, to wrap things up with a prediction, I'm going for Daniel Dubois. I really am. I'm going to catch flack for that. I know I am, but and Joshua will be favourite, probably rightly, but I can see Dubois catching him. I just think he's on the top of the mountain at the minute in terms of confidence and mentality and mindset. And I can't see even Anthony Joshua, as good as he's looked lately, stopping him. So I do think he'll land, and I think it's going to be relatively early. I'm going to go between 4 and 6 for a Daniel Dubois KO and a real passing of the torch, which is what it would be, a passing of the torch performance and a star making performance from Daniel Dubois here to knock out Anthony Joshua. Yeah, as I say, that might not be a popular opinion, but I'm going for an early KO and a Dubois victory. But yeah, that was just my reaction to today's huge news of the Wembley Supercard, September 21st, Wembley Stadium, headlined by Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois. As I mentioned at the start of the video, plenty more great fights. Kelly Smith, Buatsi Hutchinson, Shiraz Eubank. I've also filmed reactions to those fights as well, so you can see my thoughts on that on the channel. The videos are up now, so let us know what you think. Drop a like in the comments. Drop a like on the video, I should say. Let us know in the comments. Who you're going for. Can AJ prove that it's maybe a step too far this time for Dubois, as good as he's looked, or will Dubois put what would be a really big nail in the coffin of the career of Anthony Joshua here? and get the win, like I'm saying. Let us know whether you agree or disagree. As always, don't forget, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on all social media. Plenty of great content coming up. And yeah, speak again. Take care.